But I like to be
go
treated
on.
like a princess,
This is
though.
what I was gonna say. This is exactly where I was gonna go. I was gonna go. All right. So you don't want to be get out of my face. All right. So you want to be independent. So what is it that you want from? I'm saying this is my public service, and this is my public service to whoever's gonna view this now. So what is it that you want from um a potential man? So it's not gonna be, you might want, you'll accept gifts, you'll accept nice treatment, you'll accept romance, you believe in love and all of these things, but like on the ground, like logistically, um what do you want to be led?
What I
You
want.
don't want to be led, or do you want to be led?
No, I need a leader.
This is see.
Leadership is important. Leadership is important. No, but this is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm saying to. But I had to tell you where my mentality was at the age of 24, and
Okay.
because you asked me, because remember the question was, did seeing your mom as a single mother and doing that made me become a stronger person. That made me want to make sure that I had everything in check and be educated and have a career and have my own money. There's nothing wrong with that. And
Of course.
that's something that I would tell my daughter to do. But when you are in a partnership, you have to learn how to be in a partnership. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So that is when it's process. Like I said, you have to learn to submit to each other. You have to learn, you as a woman need to learn to submit to a man. And there's times that your man also needs to submit, because remember, the man might be the driver on the seat, but the woman is the sat nav. You understand?
Facts.
So
and neither is more important
so
than the
in a
other.
way, like when you exactly, so you need, it's like you say, it's understanding that. So in terms of leadership, I'm because of my personality and who I am as a woman, I need a man to take leadership and be the man, the household of, be the father, be the husband. You need that leadership because we all play roles. Do you understand? So I have to play that role for that man when I need to be, and he needs to play that role as a man. And it's like you said, it's understanding that formula. If you take that formula into a marriage, it would work if you both understand it. So when I say taking lead, of course, because I'm a leader, and I'm a born leader naturally. So I need the man that I'm with to be a born leader naturally, and we both need to learn how to learn to position ourselves when we're in that relationship and know what works for us. That's what I'm trying to say. So I remember, dating someone that was very, I hate the word passive, but I didn't feel like that person took leadership.
Say it, soft.
And it wasn't soft in a sense, because you can be someone that's very soft spoken, but you still take leadership on things. You still are assertive and certain. Like, I want to know, like, I want that zeal, like, because I'm someone that I fight for things, not just materialistic things. But if something had to happen within our lives, I need to know that you've got my back. I need to know that you're going to fight for us. I need to know this. Do you get what I mean? Because I am that woman. So what I want ultimately in a partner is more of a reflection of who I am. I will never ask or never seek. I will never seek or find someone that I know that I don't compensate the same thing. That makes any sense. Like, I know not to be big-headed, but boy, blame God, because God just made me fall in love with myself. I was just like, damn, God, that's me. God was like, that's you, my child. I was like, damn, okay. So when I found myself, by God's grace, I was able to kind of see myself in a different light. I ended up falling in love with myself. I ended up really, taking in that journey. So for me, I see myself as a jackpot ticket. And I know it might seem like, girl, you're a bit, you have to love yourself that way.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah, because it's not even just about physicality. I'm talking about the substance of a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I bring to the table. So I know if I'm bringing that to the table, I need someone to bring in the same thing. Because if you was going into a business with someone and you was investing in something and you brought £1 million to the table, that person bought £50, you'd be looking at that person and be like, my G, what are you doing?
Straight up.
Do you get what I mean? So relationships are investments. They're emotional investments.
Facts.
So if you're going into a relationship, you have, you're looking for someone, you have to have the person that one has find a person with the same vision that you have, and someone that wants to invest in the same way that you want to invest. And that's literally downhand what I'm sort of looking for. Like, I need to know that person, because obviously, you have the fundamental things, you want someone that's God-fearing, family orientated, and good work ethic, and all of that, and all of those are the elements of the character that you want within that person. And funny enough, through going through my dating life and dating people, sometimes I've had people that on paper, they tick all my boxes. They're like, oh gosh, she's God-fearing. Oh, he's family orientated. Oh, he likes the gym. Oh, he, you know what I mean? Like, he's funny, haha. All of these things that you look for in a person. But sometimes you might they look good on paper, but when your energies meet, it just doesn't connect. And you're like, how that? So sometimes it's easier said than done, because other people are, Ariete, I don't understand why are you still single? Yeah. I'm like, listen, I can get a man tomorrow, but I don't want to get a man for the sake of getting a man. Like, so I'd rather be, sometimes lonely and sad than be in a relationship than sad. Because at the end of the day, when you're in a relationship, you have to take on other people's energies. I don't want that. Thank you. So I want to just focus on myself, because at least if I'm by myself, I know that I can focus on me. I know that the energy, I can put my energy in whatever I want to put, and even like, be successful in different areas. I want to be successful until God places me with my king, and and so forth.
Let me ask you something. So go on. No, I was just going to say,
I'm finished.
Do you think that the longer that you are single, it makes it harder for you to then incorporate somebody else into your life, or for you to then incorporate into somebody else's life? Is that a thing?
I don't think that. No, I don't think that at all. I feel like if you get too comfortable being by yourself, because sometimes it's good to learn to. I feel everyone. That's why when I and I told this to everyone. Because I remember this guy was like, he broke recently, like a few months with his girl, and he was already, he wanted to pursue something with me, and I'm like, I think you need to take time. And this is not just one. I think I've met quite a few actually. Not just because he's the first person that just came in my head recently, but I've had guys in the past that been in very, very long-term relationships, or been from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship to another relationship. And then they're coming to me, and I'm like, take time, my G, because I feel like, no, because I genuinely believe that people need to take time to find themselves, because I feel like you've just been in space, you just invested, with someone for a period of time. Now you've come out of that space. You like, from going from one space to another space, for me, without no gap of you actually just taking time just to kind of find yourself again, even if it's for like 6 months or a couple of months, just to kind of get into your your balance. And I just feel like that section is so important, because I feel like it stops you from transferring your previous energy to another relationship.
That's powerful,
that energy.
Definitely agreed.
So what was the question again?
Do you think
I lost myself.
Yeah, do you think that
yeah, no, I don't think, I'll tell you what's the problem, and I'll be very honest with you, and this is more a female than a men's problem. The older you get, it's not necessarily the fact that you get more. No, I'm also be open to love till the day I'm 100 years old. Yeah, because like I said, I love love, innit? But I just feel that the problem is the race, I suppose, or the anxious feeling of like, oh Lord, bless me with, is to do with children. Honestly,
okay.
For example, if I set my mind today, I said to myself, you know what, I don't want to have any children. I'm happy with one. Thank God I got one. I'm happy with that one. I don't want to have any children. I can hands down say I wouldn't really care if I have a man in the next year or 10 years. It would be nice, don't get it twisted, but there wouldn't be a feeling of like, of wanting it within a certain time.
Yeah, yeah.
With women, the reason why is because we biologically, scientifically can't have children. I mean, we can have children till we're 50, but let's be realistic. It's the likelihood, do you understand? So the longer you wait to your 40s, the more complication there will be. You can get, obviously, in about 10 years, I can still have kids in my 40s, but the likelihood will be like I might have to go through my IVF. It's just a lot.
Yeah,
so for a woman's body, I think that's really the main factor. I can tell you, I honestly feel if children weren't a factor and women were able to have healthy pregnancies, healthy children, and be able to get pregnant with no problems when they're in their 40s, for example, or even late 40s, then I'm telling you that people, like women, wouldn't really give a shit like that. Do you understand? So the pressure comes more from when you're trying to build a family. So right now, I still want 2 more kids. Do you understand? I want 2 more kids. I'm in my early 30s, but I know that, people are like, oh, you're right, or whatever, not now, but it's not long till I'm in my mid-30s. And then from my mid-30s, I'm in my late 30s. And, I'm like, damn, like, God, I am waiting now. It's been 4 years now, come on now. So, as much as you're patient, but the at the back of your mind, it is because you want to still build, you still want to have children. If I didn't want to have children, I wouldn't really care how long, whether it was in 10 years or a year's time that my king came. But when you do want to build a family with someone, unfortunately for women, we're more under that pressure clock to kind of get it more quickly. That makes any sense? That's the only factor that plays. That's the only factor that plays. The only factor.
But that to me sounds like something that would spill out into your behavior, spill out into your expectations. It would kind of almost strip away the organicness and the authenticness of a meeting of the minds or a meeting of people. Do you understand? Because now you're, as an emotional being, as somebody who loves love, is in touch with their emotions and all of these things. Now you're moving into the other side of the brain, and now you're moving into like the logical realm, and now you're trying to tick list, and now you're trying to like quantify stuff instead of qualifying stuff. Do you understand? So I feel like that's a issue that should be addressed. And like you said, balance is the key, definitely. But
there's a lot of truth what you said, and a lot of women. I'm telling you now that I know people that got with someone based. Oh shit! Well, I was gonna say too much, but basically, I know someone. I know someone. Or they're my friend. They're friends of they're friend of a friend. But
oh gosh,
that got into a relationship because they just wanted to. Because I think she was in mid-30s, going she was like 35 going on 36. But she started becoming anxious because she didn't have no children. So she couldn't, and so she just ended up finding a person who she felt like would have been a good father, not necessarily someone that she necessarily loved or was in love with, but someone that was okay in a way. Okay in terms of like he could potentially be a great father, and end up having a child with him based on the fact that she just wanted to have children with someone. She just wanted to have children.
Yeah.
And I feel like, as much as I understand that, at the same time, I do feel that's quite selfish, because you're thinking about your own needs and not necessarily the child's needs.
Facts.
Because when you're thinking like, oh my days, I want a child, and then you just end up having a child for this because you need it, and then now the father of the child is not in that, which just happened. The father of the child is not really in the child's life like that, but she genuinely doesn't care. Like, she actually does not care whether he's involved. Because in a way, because in her mind, she provides everything for the child, isn't it? She's very well off. She's got money. She's got a house. She's financially stable. So in her mind, she goes, everything that I can get my child, I can give my child. But sometimes women forget that a father is a need in your child's life.
Mate, I'm so glad I didn't need to say that.
Yeah,
Make it plain. Make it
100%
plain.
is a need. Yeah, no, 100%. Fathers are very important. Mothers and fathers are very important.
Definitely.
But people, that's what I'm saying. So it's about having, don't lose yourself in that. Because for me, it's like I'm happy and blessed that at least being able to have a child. So it's whatever God wants for me. So if I'm in my 40s, so for example, don't tell me it's going to take that long, Lord. But let's say, for example, it reaches, I'm in my 40s now. Oh, happy 40th. And my king has not yet arrived. I'm like, damn, Lord, really? Oh. And he hasn't not yet arrived. And I can't have children. Then it is what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So I can fulfill, it is what it is. I'm just happy that at least I had a child, and I've been blessed with that. So at least, that's my peace of mind compared to other women, maybe. So maybe for someone maybe that doesn't have kids, there will be more on that. Where I have already a child, to me, is not as important, maybe. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, and to a certain extent, babe, like if I was that, thinking in that logical or in that race, I would have been in a relationship
Go on,
right now.
that's it. Speak your gangstership. Go on.
I'm not trying to be. I'm just being truthful. I'm being very truthful, babe. I generally had opportunities. Don't lack. I reckon they don't. But you can't. I think there's so many, and
Oh gosh.
I'm just saying there's so many. But it's just like I am not trying to settle.
I hear that.
Do you get what I mean?
Definitely.
That's it. I'm just not trying to settle. And people are like, oh, Ariete, before you know it, you're going to be 35. And when you turn 35 in your mid-30s, you're going to lower your value, your standards and all of that. And for me, I'm like, I won't. Because I want to have long-lasting happiness. I don't want to have, you know what I mean? Like a short thrill. You know what I mean? I don't want something to be like, or just be in it for the sake of being it, because I don't want to have a trophy husband. So I can tell everybody, hey, hello everybody, this is my husband. I don't want that. I want a life partner. I want someone that I can build with. I want someone that I could grow old with. I want someone that, do you understand? That is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a trophy, because otherwise I could have got a trophy long time. I could have got a rich man long time. Do you understand? It's just,
I hear you. I hear you. I do. I hear you. Just before, because I know that we're near enough coming towards. We've already gone over your time that you said. So
I know
let me
it's
just.
all right.
All right, cool.
Fault.
Yeah, good. Let me hit you with a couple quick fire ones. I kind of threw some of them in there already. But first, let me hit you with. Are you much of a reader?
I do like to read, but I think I need to improve. If you give me a book to read, I'll read.
Okay.
I'm like that, but I don't go out on my way to get books. But it's funny that you say that, because I said to myself this year, I'm building a bookshelf in my house, and I said I need to fill that bookshelf by the end of 2021. Where like I just, do you get what I mean?
Well, what you can do, because the question I was going to ask you is, give me a book recommendation. Recommend me a book.
Wow, my God.
And I'll read anything. So it can be non-fiction, it can be a story, it can be a novel.
What's the last book?
It can be an autobiography.
See, I don't like, for me, I'm one of those people, I don't like to read, I don't really like stories and novels. Like I like real life. I like real life. You know what I mean? Like motivational type of books or inspirational type of books. Like books that I can read. Like the last book that I read. There was 2 books that I read, which was oh my gosh, I completely. Her name's gone completely off my head. This is so annoying. What's her? Oh my God! And it was her childhood. It was a very interesting book. It's about her childhood. What's that woman's? I can't believe she's so bait. What's that woman's name again? She's passed away now. Flipping it. My mind's gone blank.
Is she black woman, white woman, English woman, American woman?
Black woman. Oh my days, she's
Toni Morrison?
she's the one that wrote she's the one, Dear Black Child.
Not Toni Morrison, no?
Nah. Oh my days, Common. She used to be around Common a lot. Like Common is a lover. I know a Common is a lover. Oh my God! How did I forget this woman's name?
Don't worry, we'll come back to you. We'll come back.
So annoying, and you're gonna be like, wow, so bait. She's so bait. Yeah, and
I know you're talking about Maya
Angelou.
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou. Oh!
I knew. Yeah.
So great. Yeah. And oh my days. Yeah. Anyways, I was reading her a book, basically about her life and her living in America as a child, and the racism that she sort of suffered in those times, and the fact that the segregation between blacks and whites. Like, yeah, it's just her. And to me, that was I actually read that book late last year, and early this year I read. Actually, I lied. It wasn't even last year. It was late last year as well. Robin Travis, it's a good friend of mine as well.
Okay.
Good, but he's a friend of mine. He's written 2 books because I'm a youth practitioner. Okay. So that really intrigued me. Like, and his life story basically, because to me he's like a living testimony, and he just talks about being in prison, being part of gangs, and being in that type of lifestyle, and then turning his life around. Yeah. And there's a book called Mama Can't Raise No Boy. No, Mama Can't Raise No Boys. Oh my God, I just forget the title.
I've heard of that book.
The title of the book.
I've heard of that book.
That's a great book. And so it's 2 of them anyway. So I've got it in my room anyway. So that was the last.
What's his name?
Robin Travis.
Robin.
Yeah, Robyn.
Okay.
Travis.
All right.
So that's to be, because I'm like, what else? Oh yeah, but that's I know the 5 languages, the 5 different languages of love.
Yeah, that's a good book.
My mom gave me that book to read. That was a good book as well. I'm someone that, which is bad because I read on recommendation, but I really need to like research on my own.
No, but I'm the same way. That's why I asked this question.
So someone goes, Ariete, read this book. I'm like, what book? And then that's when I read it, but I don't go out my way to find, Google it or find different books, which is what I'm trying to get into in a new habit of kind of collecting books and so forth.
Well, if you check on the Instagram page, you'll see I put a post up and asked for some recommendations on my personal page and on the podcast page. So there's a couple in the comment. I've literally just ordered, I don't know, about 12 books. The first one came today, one of the recommendations.
That's really good. What's that?
The Black Jacobin.
Jacobins. What is it? What? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah,
I never heard of him.
Yeah, it's I think it's regarding, I don't know if you've heard of Toussaint Louverture. He was heading the first rebellion, the first rebellion that succeeded in the West Indies during slavery and stuff in Haiti. So I believe it's something to do with that, but someone recommended it, so I just bought it. It's the first one that came today, so I'm gonna start reading that at the weekend.
Where's your roots from? Where are you from?
My mum was born in Jamaica, came here probably about the same age that you did, about 5. My dad's Nigerian, but I wasn't.
Damn, that's serious.
Yeah, the most
and Nigerians,
Yeah, the most hated in the Caribbean and the most hated in Africa, all blended into.
Came together. That must have been interesting, boy.
Yeah, but I wasn't raised with him. So he kind of he left when I was maybe 2, 3. We kind of got back in contact.
So you took more on like the Jamaican side, basically.
Kind of. But my mum was Rasta, so.
So you'll choose recipes over jollof then.
We had this debate. I don't know. I've had some good jollof. I like flavor. Rice is rice, innit?
But what did your spirit say? What did your spirit say?
To be fair, I will choose rice and peas over jollof, just because
Ah,
it's
look at
more,
you, you West
it's
Indian.
it's more,
Ah!
it's more, but I like I like jollof though.
Child is obviously hot because her dad,
Go on,
her dad,
you
my
wanna
child's
rinse
dad
me?
is like half Jamaican and half Asian.
Okay,
So there was a lot of culture clashes being in that relationship.
I can imagine.
A lot.
I can imagine. I can
Because
imagine.
my mom's like my family, Angolan, they're very traditional, like a lot of Africans.
Yeah.
So he had to go through a lot of traditional stuff that he didn't understand why he had to do them.
Mm. That's interesting though.
Mm.
It's interesting because that's something I wish that I knew more of. As I said, my mum was Rasta, so I've always had an appreciation of Africa. I've never, like some
Mm.
people raised on the Caribbean side would deny their Africanness, even though I've actually got direct like African parent, but I still feel like I've got an appreciation and an understanding of Africanness and some elements of African culture. But I would love to, let's say, for example, my dad's Igbo. I would love to speak Igbo, but I don't. Um,
Mm.
and more of the food that the African food that I've eaten has been through friends that I've got and gone to their family's
Mm.
house, and so it's not like it wasn't in my house, if that makes sense. So it's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna
Mm.
have to research afterwards. Do you understand?
Oh, it's so important. It's so
Yeah.
important. Like no, like knowing your roots, and because that's your identity, really.
Mhm. Mhm. Mm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's powerful still.
It is. It definitely is. All right.
So, what was I saying? The last a message to the world.
Yeah.
Hello, world. I'm Ariete Santos.
That's staying in. I hope you know that.
A
That's
message to the
staying in.
world. How? It's cool. They know I'm crazy, anyways. But a good message to the world. I would say, funny enough, I've
Mhm.
recently been watching. I don't know if you've been watching the documentary of Michael Jordan, The Last
I've been
Dance.
meaning to, but I haven't.
It's the most, because I love basketball. Even though I'm 5'2", but I love basketball because I used to play in school, and and then my brother used to be a semi-pro as well, and I
Okay.
just love the game of basketball. And then obviously, I remember in my childhood, I was young, so I didn't really know much about behind the scenes of Michael Jordan. I just
Mhm.
remember him in Space Jam as a kid, and
Mhm.
I remembered like my family like being like Chicago Bulls fans and blah 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 and so
Right.
forth. So growing up now as a being like an adult now
Mhm.
and seeing the behind the scenes and having that understanding, because I
Mhm.
have like recollection of that time when I was a child, but I didn't really understand it, and just seeing his work ethic and his mentality, and
Mhm.
I just feel like we should adapt to a certain extent that mentality with anything that we want to achieve. I'm not just
Okay.
saying sportsman, anything that you want to achieve in life, because when people talk about the Mamba mentality with Kobe Bryant, if you watch Michael Jordan, you then would see where Kobe got that mentality and that way of thinking
Mhm.
from. Like now it was
Mhm.
Michael Jordan. Like is that the consistency, keep going when you're gonna have times where life is gonna bring you down, and people are going to try to break you, and you're going to lose people in your life. But it's about overcoming those barriers and overcoming those obstacles, and always remaining focused in the things that you want to achieve. And like basically the teaching is be the best version of yourself.
Mhm.
So be the best version of yourself in whatever way that you want to be. So if that's be the best version of you in terms of a character, be the best version of you on your work, be the best version of you as a father, be the best version of you as a friend. Like be the best version of you. And I honestly believe that God doesn't plant seeds in your mind or in your life for no reason.
Mhm.
Those things are supposed to be manifested. So it's up to you how you're how are you gardening that seed? How are you watering that seed? How are you taking care of that seed? Are you just leaving that seed there? Are you watering your seed? Are you taking care of that seed? But that seed is there for a purpose. So it's how you take care of that, and that's how you see that seed blossom into your life. So for me is, one, be the best version of yourself. Believe in yourself, because you're not here for no. I feel like everyone here serves a purpose. Every single human being serves a purpose. Like whatever it may be, it might be something small, it might be something massive. It might be your purpose could have been in, when you're 35 years old, I want you to open up this thing, this big youth project, which is going to help loads of 100 children, whether you're here on this earth or you're not here on this earth. It could be you saving someone from committing suicide. That's just one person in the whole. It could be anything. It could be you just being the best father and leaving a trademark or an example for your children, who then become the greatest people here on earth. Like what I'm saying is, like, you serve a purpose. God planted you for, or put you in different positions, or will place you in different positions in your life for a reason. So all you have to do is be the best version of yourself, fulfill yourself in your purpose, because you are here for a purpose, and whilst you're in that journey, and I was just literally just talking to my friend about this, because me and my friend were talking, and he doesn't really, because I'm very old school, I like to chat on the phone all the time, and for some weird reason my generation has gone all like new millennium, where everyone's texting and WhatsApping, and I'm like, listen, because you call people, I want to hear the sound of your voice. And then they'll send me a voice note. I said, this is not what I mean when I said I want to hear your voice. Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, because he was basically saying that, like he was watching the Michael Jordan thing as well, and he was just like, you have to be really focused, and I said, yeah, that's all great as well, and that's very important. Like I said to you guys, it's very important for you to capture that. But sometimes when we go through our life journey, we focus on the goal and we don't enjoy the journey. The part of that journey is your blessings as well. Like, part of that journey is your lessons. Part of that journey, you need to just experience it mentally, emotionally, like spiritually. You have to really experience it. So, like, because sometimes when we get to the goal is when we go, hey, yeah, I've made it, let's enjoy now. Like, and I said to him, I said, listen, Michael Jordan, now he's achieved what he's achieved, and now he can, reap the fruits of his benefits. People like Kobe Bryant are not doing that. He had 4 or 5 years of retirement, whatever years that he had. So yes, he left a landmark, but the time that he's now enjoying with his wife and his children, and really, enjoying the fruits of his labor, he's not able to do that no more. So at the end of the day, life, we don't know when we're going to be called. We don't know the day of tomorrow. We don't know the day when we're going to see off. And especially during this pandemic, is one thing that taught us, like, you don't know who we're going to lose in our lives, who the next person that we're not going to see in our lives. So whilst you're in this journey and being the best version of yourself and really serving your purpose, because you are here for a purpose. And I really hope if anything that anyone gets from this is that you are here for a reason. 100%. Doesn't matter how many obstacles you've gone through, especially let me tell you something, especially if you've been through obstacles, especially if life kept throwing you something. Let me tell you something, if your life has been so effed up from childhood to teenage, you have to think, like, wow, why is that? Listen, that means that the devil, or any of these negative entities, however you want to call it, or the universe, they're trying to stop you from being what you was put in this earth to do. So use that pain, use everything that you've been through, and turn it around into a positive, and manifest into something positive. Because, and people don't understand that. Sometimes I work with young people that are looking at me to help them as if and I'm like, do you know that you are a testimony? Sometimes they've been through things that we've never been through. But you're here, you're standing, you wake up every day, you go to work, you do this, you do that, you're going to college, you're doing so many things that other people would have given up already, and you're still here standing, and you're going to tell me you don't serve a purpose? My G, come on now. So, last thing, I'm going to shut up now because I can go on forever.
Go for it.
Take time to, in your journey, in your life, take time to really just be with your loved ones. Like I said, we don't know the day of tomorrow. So, like, cool, don't voice note, cool. Hi, how you doing? Oh my God. Like, you know what's so crazy? My granddad is 88 years old.
Yeah.
My granddad FaceTimes me on his WhatsApp. So if my granddad that doesn't even know social media technology goes to his WhatsApp and FaceTimes me, not even WhatsApps me, FaceTimes me to see how I'm doing. And we are all this younger generation, like, come on, like there's no excuses. And that's something I really love about our old school. I don't want us to lose that old school way of communicating, because we're losing that, you know.
I
We're
agree
becoming
100%.
too text, WhatsApp, social media. People are checking in on you through social media. People are like, oh my days, he's put on a story, he must be okay. How do you know he's okay? Because he just put up a story. How do you know he's okay? Because he put up a post or a picture up or whatever. No, you don't know until you actually, because when you speak to someone, you're gonna feel that energy, you're gonna feel their voice, their tone, you're gonna be like, raw, how you really doing? You know, it's so important to keep that communication, to spend time, to take some time to just spend with your loved ones whilst you're going through that journey. Just enjoy that journey. I'm chatting too much and I'm gonna shut up now.
I
So
appreciate you.
I'm good.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
There's the message world.
That was a beautiful message. And I think just I think I've got some great stuff. You've got some great perspectives. It's kind of exactly what I thought it would be, and even more. So I really appreciate it. Appreciate you. Who knows? Maybe down the line we could do it again at some point. But for now, thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks.
No problem.
And you definitely shared too much information, so I'm proper grateful.